Hey everyone, Percy Jules here. So I've got a new toy to play with and I'm gonna tell you about it. So today we're gonna talk about a plugin called FAT2 by Soundspot. It's been released not too long ago, I believe some weeks ago. I purchased it myself a week ago. By the way, it is on sale at the moment on Plugin Boutique. I will leave a link in the description. But let's talk about it a little bit and let's see what it can do.
Supercy.
Okay, FAT2 by Soundspot. Now again, I will leave a link in the description. It is going to be an affiliate link, which means that should you be interested, you can use that link. Wouldn't cost you a cent more, but I would get a little commission, which of course would help support me and this channel. Okay, now many of you may remember that quite a while ago, Soundspot released a tiny little plugin called FAT. I believe you can still download it from their website for free. And it looks like this. So as you can see, it's a very simple filter plugin with just a cutoff knob and a resonance knob and two filter types. So a very simple high pass filter and a very simple low pass filter. And that is all. Now this was and probably still is a very popular plugin. First of all, probably because it is free, but also because it is very simple. It's very easy to understand and use, and also because you can do some awesome stuff with it. Now the good people at Soundspot thought, you know what, let's build on that idea of the original FAT plugin, but let's come up with something bigger and better. Well, their creativity clearly wasn't spent on coming up with an original name. They came up with FAT2, and this is what it looks like. Now, as you can see, it looks much more appealing, much more modern. Anyway, I think it looks much better. Now, the first thing you might notice is that it is resizable, which I think is always a nice little touch. It is still a pretty simple plugin, so they didn't deviate from that idea, but they did add some very interesting, useful features. Now you can still recognize the cutoff knob and the resonance knob. The first major difference is that now we have control over the well, let's call it steepness. I don't know how to call this, but anyway, you can choose between 12, 24, 36 or 48 dB per octave. As I just showed you with the original FAT plugin, we had two different filter types, so a very simple low pass and a very simple high pass. With this plugin, we have four different filter types, so high pass, band pass, low pass, and an effects filter. And for each of those filter types, we have 5 variations. So as you can see here. So high pass, 5 variations, low pass, 5 variations, etc. Now the biggest difference with the original FAT plugin is that now we have a modulation section. So if we go here, you can see a envelope. This envelope communicates with the cutoff, which is envelope 1. We also have envelope 2, which obviously communicates with the resonance. And let's turn it on, and then you can see that we can create nodes by double clicking. We can make some curves. We can use snapping, to make it snap to the grid. Also, there is some smoothing over here. So we can basically create any shape we like. Now, by default, this stretches out. So this envelope stretches out over 1 bar. But of course, we can change that. We can change it to 2 bars or 4 bars. So up to 32 bars, or a half, a quarter, an eighth, a 16th, and a 32nd. It's all pretty self-explanatory. It's also very simple to understand and to use, but it is potentially very, very powerful. Okay, enough talk. Let's do a little demoing. So as you can see, I've just created this very, very simple loop, and let's just take a listen. you get the idea. Okay, now let's solo this bass and let's bring in an instance of Fat2 and see what we can do with it. All right, now let's first remind ourselves what the bass sounded like. So very flat. So let's unbypass Fat2 and let's see what we can do with the modulation. Okay. Yeah, no. But let's play around with this. Turn on snapping. Okay, let's change it to 2 bars. Sounds a little bit more interesting already, in my opinion. Let's also mess with the resonance. It might be a little bit too much. Yeah, that's very interesting to me. Let's see how this sounds in the mix. Okay, so this is what it sounded like without. So very flat, and now let's turn it on. Okay, much more interesting. Okay, now let's solo this synthesizer pad, or whatever it is, and let's bring in Fat2. And let's see if we can find a nice little preset for this. So let's go. Yeah, this sounds pretty interesting. Let's see how this sounds in the mix. Let's unsolo and let's go. Yeah. Yeah, I could probably tweak this one a little bit more, but already it sounds much more interesting than the original loop was. Now this was just a little demonstration, but I think that already you can imagine what this thing might be capable of. So my final thoughts. So what do I think of Fat2? Now, first of all, it's absolutely a huge improvement over the original Fat plugin. It comes with some really interesting, very useful new features, but it is still very simple. It's very easy to use, very easy to understand, and it can really do some damage, you know, in a good way, if there is such a thing. You know what I mean? It can really bring you some dramatic changes to your mix. Now, personally, I'm probably going to use this a lot with transitions, like I did with the original FET plugin, but you can actually use it for a lot of things. And also you can use it for a lot of genres. The obvious genres you would link it to is dance music, EDM music, but you can use it on basically any genres, especially electronic music, of course. Now, some filter plugins may give you some more tweakability. They will give you some more detailed options for tweaking. But those plugins are probably not going to be as easy to use. Now, this plugin has a very, very good balance. So it is pretty simple. It is pretty easy to understand and to use. But at the same time, it will give you quite a bit of features and quite a bit of tweaking options. Now, if you're looking for a plugin that has ultra fine, ultra detailed tweakability, this plugin might not be it. But if you're looking for a quick fix or a relatively quick fix, but still with quite a bit of detailed tweaking options, it's definitely a great plugin. I would definitely recommend it, especially while it's still on sale. But even if it's not, it's definitely one to look at. So those are my thoughts on FET 2 by Soundspot. Go check it out for yourself and let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment below. For now, I want to thank you for watching and I'm going to talk to you in the next video.